Hey. No. I don't mind, but I don't be having no since I'm new to being live. I don't be having nobody on here to do them with.
You enjoy the rest of your Saturday.
Uh-huh.
Have a good one. This is it's the Wild West out here, I tell you.
Yes, it is. Baby, they be wanting to battle. Dang. They be wanting to battle, boy, on TikTok. I really needed to use the restroom. You look totally different on that Android over there. I don't know if I'm turning the light up or what. Turn the brightness up. Eat my food because I'm trying to go over the Five Below. Taco Cabana Queso Blanco bowl. I need to be trying to go to the restroom, but it's not red. I don't have no fork. I have to use a chip as a fork because I don't want the chips. I just want to eat the queso. People be wanting to battle. A man came on here and said, "Are you battling today?" No, sir. I don't be battling. I'm using the chip as a spoon. I don't want the chip. I got a crispy taco that I can eat with it. Invite, share to join as a guest. Talia Rogers join. Fo join. YouTube. I'm on TikTok on on a different device. Oh, I done dropped my meat. It's coming out. The meat got it too wet. I'm full. I don't even think I'm made to finish. I got TikTok on one screen and YouTube on the other. Whew. I'm full. I can't even finish a whole taco. Invite Letty to co-host. Invite Mayu to co-host. I'm sitting up here getting full. Yes, ma'am. Oh, it sent the invite. They probably had been sending you the invite the whole time, but I didn't I didn't ever see.
Oh.
Hey, Miss Debbie.
Hey, how you doing?
Fine. I was trying to see if you had, by the time I had got on to see if you was going live, you was already off live.
Girl, I woke up this morning very early, right? Like 4 something early.
Okay, yeah.
And so I was like, okay, oh, I love your hair. You look so pretty.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And so then what happened where I couldn't go back to sleep. And I was like, okay, Lord. So what I have been doing is I said, let me see about these trends. Everybody trending this. I want to go viral. On TikTok. Okay. So I took that challenge. Baby, I said, let me do this. I did it, and they said do it for a week. I'm day 3. I want to go viral on TikTok. And I did it early this morning, and you have to watch 5 different creators. Baby, I speed them sisters up real quick. I get back on, make my video, and I'm trying to see it's in attraction there. Like I told people, I want to see if the trend works. Because I want to know if you just put up a hook.
So what's the trend?
I want to go viral on TikTok this week. Okay, so with that, here go the kicker. I've been doing it now. Honestly, I haven't seen anything major, but I have seen some attraction where one day it went up to 200 and something in nowhere. And it usually take me 2 weeks to get there. And so the other ones, and I noticed everything is laying in the 100 modes. But then this guy that texted me, and he said he's a TikTok something. He said it might not be that you don't have bad videos or nothing. I looked. He said you could be shadow banned.
Okay.
If you're shadow banned, they won't pull your stuff out front.
Okay.
And I was like, so how? I asked him, how would you know if you shadow banned? So I'm gonna wait on him to text me back. But now, then a couple of more people that I'm actually following. One girl was on her phone. Driving her car, and they detected and they suspended her for a week.
Oh yeah, you know they don't play.
And the other girl was on her phone, and they sent her a text, and she realized it, and she shut the app down real quickly, so she didn't get a chance to get penalized. So, but what they did do to her, she said, Miss Deborah, they are really playing with me now. I said, why? She said, because they couldn't catch me when it happened. They have shadow banned me. I said, what you mean? She said, they're not pushing my stuff out. She said, I used to have like 200 to 300 people in my room a day. She said, I ain't even got 35.
I'll probably never get that.
And girl, I said, huh? You got who? Look, I got. I was like, who? What? I ain't never had over 5 or 10. And she fell out laughing, and she said, I'm just, they shadow banning me. She said, well, I'm going to keep going. I said, well, at least you didn't end up like the other girl, suspended.
Right.
I said, so they penalizing you by not pushing you out, but they got to push you out because you keep putting your content out. So eventually you'll rise again. And then the other girl was talking about this man that he was a big creator. Whoever he was, he never, ever talked on his live, but had thousands of people in his live.
What he used to do on there then?
I think they say he played music or something.
Oh.
But he had this guy. This guy got one of those voices.
People love music.
Smooth.
They love music.
Them women just hanging there and gifted. So they told him that he could not be on the live without saying anything.
What?
So yeah.
So you can't even be on TikTok live.
Yeah.
And not talk.
Baby, what he did was this. He messed him up. He started doing nothing but posting. And blew up so big, them women, them faithful women, baby. When I say them faithful women,
they stuck in there with him.
Baby, just like they said, this man make good money. He in the B league or A league. He makes real money.
Okay.
I said, oh my God. How y'all do that? But anyway, that's what happened.
I don't know.
I said, let me just see. I'm on day 3 with the trend. And I make my own videos like they tell me to do. And they tell the people to watch 5 creators and stuff. So I'm going to keep doing that. And I'm going to do it for 7 days. And I'm going to tell the world what's really going on with this trend.
Okay.
So you go to my videos and like those trends.
I will.
I told Cinderella today, I said, go. I did 3. She said, I seen you talking about I want to go TikTok, live on TikTok. Go viral. I said, girl, yeah. And I said, so it's just what it is. I said, you got to learn the hustle and figure out the hustle and how the hustle goes.
You got to figure how the hustle go.
And so I did my live this morning because I was still up, right? And then the people, AI, you know how I tell you they'll come in? So, baby, I was talking about my Thanksgiving, and I was talking about that I had been in prayer for the people that have lost loved ones and how I know it affected you during the holidays. And how you have to recover from that.
We ain't even been able to talk because I'm going to a funeral on Tuesday. My coworker done passed away.
You just got a coworker. From your old job? Oh my God.
Co-worker.
Were they sick?
She was a co-worker friend to me.
Okay, I got you.
And Miss Debbie, I have been waiting to get on live with you to tell you. Excuse me. I have been waiting to get on live with you to tell you that she had passed away. And I think she was in her younger 30s. She wasn't even knocking on 40. Hispanic girl. Don't have no kids, didn't have nothing but a couple cats, and love like adopting and getting the stray cats off the road and going take them to the shelter and stuff. But I want to talk to you about, because I know you know how stress kills.
Right.
And when I tell you, she had just called me. She had just called me a couple weeks ago venting, because she always vents to me about what her boyfriend be putting her through. Her boyfriend, her sister boyfriend, and her parents. She kept telling me, because she know I work multiple jobs, and she know all that. So she would be like, Clarissa, she always would try to be like, do you know anybody that's hiring? I'm probably going to need me a second job. She say, I'm taking care of. First, she was living with her mama and dad, paying all their bills, taking care of them. Then her and the boyfriend was living with her mom and dad. Then her and the boyfriend went and bought a house together. That was mistake number one for me. Not her husband, her boyfriend. Her and her boyfriend went and bought a home together. Then she moved in her own home. I just found out a couple weeks ago when she called me that her mortgage was almost $3,000 by itself.
What?
On top of she was helping her parents pay bills at their house. On top of having her sister and her sister boyfriend living with her in her new home. On top of being sickly. She already was sickly, like she would get bad ear infections with mucus and cysts and pus and all type of stuff inside of her head, in her ear, where she was going in and out the hospital and stuff. And then on top of her boyfriend cheating on her, verbally, they told me she was not. One of my other co-workers she was friends with said he was not physical, but he might as well have been physical, because he was all the other abusives. Verbally, mentally, physically, emotionally abusive. So when she called me a couple weeks ago, she was like, Clarissa, I just need somebody to talk to. She was like, I'm going through so much with my boyfriend. He been in and out, cheating on me, had moved in and got with another girl, came back, told me that he could come back when he want to, because he on this mortgage too, because we bought this house together and he ain't helping me. She said he told her that he ain't helping her pay no bills at their house that they bought together, because if she got money to go out and buy margaritas with her friends and co-workers and have a margarita, then she don't need his money for no bills. Now, what really struck me was, she said, Clarissa, I was outside doing yard work. She said, I was outside in my backyard doing yard work. And she said, do you know my boyfriend came out there and walked up on me and peed next to me on me? I was driving at the time, trying to get home from work. So me and my daughter was in the car, and I had stopped, and I was like, because I didn't know if I had heard her right. And I said, what you say, Maria? And she said, I was just outside doing yard work, and my boyfriend came out there and peed on me. Like, just doing malicious, evil shit. And then last week, we had our potluck at work. We go in, you know, I don't go in every day. So I went in for my potluck. I cooked a pan of mac and cheese for the potluck. So I'm like, I was excited to go in because I'm like, okay, I get to see Maria today. I always look forward to seeing her and hugging her. So I text her when I got to work and I was like, hey, are you coming in? I'm in the office today. And somebody texted me from her phone. Her boyfriend texted me, thank you for liking the live, Big Nina. Her boyfriend texted me from her phone and was like, hey, who is this? I got a new phone and I don't have this number programmed. And I told him who I was. I said, I'm Clarissa. I work with Maria. And I was looking to see if she was coming to the potluck because he said this is her boyfriend. And he was like, she's in the hospital right now. She's in a coma. She just had seizures and got put into a coma this morning. This is the day of our potluck, last Tuesday. So then I went and talked to her manager, and I told her manager said, yes, Clarissa. She said her sister had got into her computer and messaged me from her computer and said that she said Maria was in and out but barely could put in her password to the computer so she could log in and have her sister tell her. And she was like, I told her sister, why would she be worried about getting on the computer trying to tell me anything? They needed to go ahead and get her to the emergency room. And I was like, right. So then the next day, later on that day, her manager say, I told her boyfriend on the phone, because I'm texting Maria phone. When he said she was in ICU, she said she's in ICU. She's in a coma, but she's up and aware and she knows what's going on. And I said, okay. When she
how you been in a coma and up and aware and have, okay, go ahead.
I don't know. Listen. He said she's aware of what's going on, but she's in a coma right now from having a seizure. And I said, okay, whenever she get out of ICU, can you please text me so that me and my coworkers can come up there and see her and visit her. And the next week passed. We come to work, and the next Tuesday passed. It's been 2 weeks, so this was week before last. So last week, I go into the office on a Tuesday again. She not in the office. I text her phone again. Nobody replied. I text her phone and I say, hey, this Clarissa. I'm just checking on Maria. I'm looking to see if she been placed in ICU. And I want to come visit her. Nobody replied. And then when I seen that her manager and her team was in a meeting, because I'm not on her same team. We don't share the same manager. We co-workers, but we went to lunch together. We talk on the phone personally, all that type of stuff. And so I seen that her team was in a meeting. So all day I just had this sadness on me in the office. I'm just working. I'm waiting on her team to come out the meeting. Waiting on Miss that they come out the meeting. Her manager walked past me. Her eyes bloodshot red. Then one of our other friends we worked with that's on her team, she come out. I ain't saying nothing to nobody. I'm just working. I'm looking at them and paying attention, but I ain't saying nothing. So then Christina, one of our other Hispanic friends, she was friends with Maria too. She came out and I said, she was like, we just got out of a meeting, girl. And she was like, yeah. I said, well, I text Maria this morning. Nobody answered the phone or her boyfriend didn't reply. And she said, yeah, that's what we had the meeting about. She was like, our manager just told us that she had multiple blood clots in her brain. And she said, the doctor said, she said her sister Nam said that the doctor tried to scrape some of them off, but there still is several left. So when she said that, my tears just immediately started falling, because any type of aneurysm, blood clots in the brain is aneurysms. We know that. We also know that it's very rare that a blood clot, it's very rare that you can have an aneurysm, that you can have one aneurysm, one blood clot, and survive. So when she told me that she had several, and they had scraped some off but still had some there, my tears start falling because I'm already knowing like people don't hardly recover from aneurysms just one. My friend got multiple.
My heart goes out to you and that family, God in heaven.
And I'm talking about right the week before Thanksgiving.
And I'm gonna tell you what it is. You're right. Stress did do a lot of that.
Stress. And but before you go ahead, I'm gonna tell you, her manager had told me. She said, "Look," she said, because she know me and Maria was close, and she said Maria was coming to me and telling me what was going on, and she said I told Maria that she should have never bought a house and purchased a house with her boyfriend, somebody that was not her husband. She said Maria was coming in here telling me that she might have to get a second job because she had all these obligations and her boyfriend was in and out the house and she was struggling with the bills, had her sister and her sister's boyfriend living on her. And I said, I know, she just called me a couple of weeks ago and she told me that she had talked to you about her situation. And she was confiding in me, asking me did I feel like she was telling too much of her business to her manager. You know, she was like, because she was really sweet, but she was really timid, and everything made her nervous. Miss Debbie, you know those type of people where they just, you know, even if she called me to vent, she would be like, Clarissa, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for calling you with this, and I'm so sorry for, and I'll be like, Maria, you don't have to apologize to me. You don't have to apologize to me for calling and venting. I told you that I said I would rather you get this out and talk about it than keep it in, because this does not do nothing but it causes issues. And I said, you don't need no, I said, Maria, whatever you got to do. And I begged and pleaded with her that day. I said, if you need to come to my house, we can sit and have a glass of wine. We can talk. I said, I would rather you not hold whatever you going through in, but it's better out than in. And so she was just talking and apologizing at the same time. And the very next couple of weeks, my friend done passed away from multiple aneurysms, multiple blood clots in her head. And I know that it had a lot to do with what that family and that boyfriend was putting her through.
And also, I'm sitting here, I hear you. I do hear everything you're saying. But I did hear you in the beginning when you said several times throughout the year she have gone to the hospital about these darn ear infections.
Yep.
So,
yep.
Did nobody do no CAT scan of her brain?
She had been going in and out the hospital all year. And
did nobody do an MRI?
I think she was getting all that. But the thing with Maria is she would call and vent, but she wouldn't want to tell she would not tell me. And I be sitting to myself sometime talking to her in spirit, and I'm like, dang, Maria, I just wish that you would have told me how severe, because every time I tried, she already had said the doctor said she had a cancer scare. She did end up telling me that in the middle of this year. She came and told me that the doctor said she had a cancer scare, but she was mad at the doctor because the doctor came back and said, we thought it was cancer, but it's not cancer. And she said they had me so stressed out because they had me thinking that I had cancer, and I didn't. They come back and said it wasn't cancer. So clearly for them to have been able to find cancer, they did all those type of tests. And her manager told me the other week, she said Maria told me that the doctor told her any little bitty stress that come on her will heighten her health condition. She knew that. Maria knew that stress was going to make her situation worse. I don't know if she knew that it was fatal because with the stress, but she had to have known something, but she wasn't confiding in us.
Of all of it.
It was all of it. And she wouldn't come out and tell us how severe her condition was. I used to have to walk up on her in the office and say, Maria, are you? Because she would be quiet. And I knew something was wrong with her when she was sitting there just working quiet because she had a lot on her mind and she was stressed and she knew her health condition. And all she would tell me was like, Clarissa, it's just a lot. She said, Clarissa, and I knew, she knew, I knew what she was feeling, because the first time that I went through my first breakup of 8 years at my job, she was the only coworker that came up to me and told me that she saw that I wasn't myself. So she knew that she saw me and I saw her. Because when I went through my breakup of 8 years, she was the only person that walked up to me and said, "Are you okay? Because you not your bubbly self. You not smiling and laughing and talking around here." She said, "I know something is wrong." And I confided in her right then about what I was going through with my breakup, trying to live with my ex as a roommate. And I was going through my own mental trauma, mental turmoil, just everything. And she saw that on me. And that's something that I will never forget about her, because for her to recognize and see that I was different, you know what I'm saying? And then I could go into work and see when she had a lot on her mind, but she would never come out and say how deep it was. But she would be sitting there almost in tears, like, "I'm okay, but I'm just stressed. I have a lot going on," stuff like that. And I'm just, I just it's just fucked up. I'm just like, I can't believe she was so young. Like, I'm gonna be 40 next month. She wouldn't even nowhere close to 40 to have had such a
And I'm
health
sitting here
condition.
wondering, not to cut you off, I'm sorry, sweetie. I'm wondering if she's been having ear infections throughout her life.
I think so. I think she has
Because
always
it don't
had.
travel like that. My girlfriend's son, he was young. He kept having ear infections, and I said, "Kimmy, children that have ear infections like that, it will turn their brains the opposite way of the norm. You
What?
need to know." I said, "So you need to get plugs in his ear so this fluid can bounce." And this
It
lady
was
kept talking
bad.
about
Hers was bad.
yeah, and they kept talking about therapy. I said, "Get plugs in his ear so it can dry." Well, anyway, he ended up being mild retarded, but he was born normal. He
Oh,
had a
wow.
speech impairment, but his speech impairment wasn't bad. But because they would not, and because Kimmy wasn't forceful, and I'm very aggressive when it comes to me and my children and our health, you really can't tell me nothing because I'm a research anyway. I'm going to
Yes.
tell you. So by the time they did it, their speech impairment was slowly coming in, and you could see the mild retardation traveling in.
Ooh.
He's 22 now, but it have gotten better over the years. But you can still see, you'll think it's a little dyslexia or something.
Right. And her ear infections was so bad that they had to put tubes in her. She had to have a surgery for
Yeah,
them
that's
to
what they had to do with
for
him
them
too.
to put tubes on the inside to
Right.
catch all that drainage, because she was
Right.
having all that drainage going and create infections in her brain. That's what it was doing.
That's what they had to do to him. But that's why I said this had to be, and because she was taking care of her parents, probably nobody paid her any attention.
Nobody was paying
And
her no
that's been
attention.
going on through the years, and by the time she got in her early 30s, it had overtaken her brain.
Yeah. That's what happened. That's pretty much what happened, is exactly what you said. She had too many ear
She was
infections.
going, regardless if she had stress or not, it wouldn't
It was just
even
a matter of
affected.
time.
Yeah, it wouldn't have even affected nothing, because stress ain't got nothing to do with that ear infection. Once it gets in that brain, it monopolize and go create other little stuff in the brain.
Right.
So when she was shut down, her job problem was the cats and everything else. And so she found a place of peace for herself with those cats and helping them and all of that.
Yes.
So, but that was her joy and that was her peace. But whether she had got help or not, she had already some kind of way been that person in the family that people use and manipulate.
They use.
And mama and dad and them used her, and everybody else seen it, and they used her too. She knew she was being used, but she had no fight.
Yeah, no fight. Because
So
that's
it-
how her
it-
personality
and-
was.
yeah,
They
and
knew that
then-
she was. they knew she was gonna do for them, whether she
Yeah.
could or she struggled and went without. They knew she was gonna do for them.
And then on top of that, the beautiful part of it is God seen how much they was doing to her. He called her on home quickly for the simple fact, for the simple fact, she probably would have blown her brain out or something else or
Yeah,
something.
because that stress, and that's what I was trying to tell her when she called me a few weeks ago. I was like, you gotta talk about it. You gotta get it out because this type of stress that you going through, the stuff that you're dealing with, this will cause somebody to do something abnormal. I was trying to tell her that, like, you got to talk about it. Don't apologize for calling me and venting because this is some, like, the stuff she was going through. There is no way that I would have just been, you know, it's just no way.
Now see, the mental, emotional abuse that's been in her childhood, that was a norm.
Hmm.
Because you don't be 30 and be that calm and
Yeah.
let people walk over you. So somewhere in that story, I would say somebody probably mentally or physically abused her and shut her down very early. Or either they traumatized her very early in her life where she submitted her will to others. Because she didn't have a will to fight. She didn't have a will.
No, she didn't. She didn't, because from the time she told me she was being roommates with that boy, with that ex-boyfriend, she said, Clarissa, we don't even sleep in the same room no more.
Yeah.
And then it got to where he started saying he wouldn't help him with the bills no more.
So
And,
he was there just for, I hate to say this because a lot of my little Hispanic friends go through this, especially the females. The men are trying to find themselves and find something else. Um, and they be trying to find love and hold on to something. But they looking at their parents and their daddy that stayed. But at the same time, that world ain't their world because some children over here and they see it differently now.
yeah, that's so true. It's so true. And I'm just like, I don't know. And now, and somebody I was talking to about this the other day, they was like, now with y'all knowing a little bit about what she was going through, for y'all to be her co-workers and friends and stuff, y'all gonna be going into that funeral looking like who? Because I don't know what the boyfriend looked like. And the person I was talking to was like, she was like, yeah, I would be in there like sitting like, where is this boy? Like looking to see, like laying, just want to lay eyes on him.
Well, one thing about this is this.
Like, who is this person?
We can't stop people that we love from being abused.
No.
We can't tell our hearts who to love and who not to love. We just have to hope that we put enough in our kids to know when enough is enough. We had to find our limits and limitations. And sometimes, if daddy is in the house and he just a doormat and mama tell him what to do, he can't teach you nothing either. It's just like he's not there. So it bothers me to know that he will be in the house and they don't know nothing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he might be a limit man with limit education, not enough experience in language to communicate. So that means he got to live low anyway and get with people that can help him do a little construction here and there.
Well, yeah, he definitely worked. I think he speak English and work, but just I don't know. I just want to lay eyes on him and just see him and just. I mean, it ain't nothing I can say. It ain't nothing I can do. I just would like to know. I do want to know what he looks like. I never knew. She never showed me no picture of him. I don't know what none of her folks look like. So, it's just real heartbreaking. It's real heartbreaking. For work, they saying, if y'all need to call EAP and, well, I'm already got a therapist. I'm already on my EAP.
Yeah,
So,
see, the thing about it, they ain't gonna trust nobody with their words, so that's just a done deal and they out. The other part to that is they hurt because their user is gone.
and you know, and
This
what to do,
fool
you
done went and
can.
got a $3,000 house. Who go get a mortgage that high?
That's what I would
But
ask.
but I'm telling you, the only way and I see it all the time, cause it was several them, and all them went through it. They play them people out like that, and they know them people ain't got good credit. And next to I got a house. They do anything to get a house. That's why they work 4 and 5 jobs.
Thank you.
But everybody needs somewhere to lay their head. I got that. I got that. But they have been so conditioned not to live in your communities and to be afraid of you, so they don't know what to do, and they just go out of their way. And I just said, baby, but I hate that, but that's a reality.
That's a reality check. It is.
I got a girlfriend. She was renting a house. It was almost $2,500 a month, and I told her, I said, your nexus, I don't mean no harm. I said, for that amount, y'all can go get a bigger house in another neighborhood where your neighbor next door will speak to you and not look at you like you Mexican trash.
Absolutely.
And you can get more.
Absolutely.
I said, now you go and get this lady, help you get your credit. Only thing was on the credit was her husband. Okay, she was from Colombia, and she was a nurse there. But here, they didn't recognize it. So, her husband had a massive heart attack. She got him airlifted to the hospital because she knew he wasn't going to make it. Now, that bill right there was almost $3,000 or $8,000 or something just to be airlifted. But she saved his life with the knowledge she had. So that's the only thing that was really on their credit. And I told her, I said, okay. She said, but they want to threaten me. I said, listen, go and look at the law when it comes to paying your bills. I said, it's stated that even if you pay a person $10, you're doing it with a 10. So they cannot come after you, baby. They just playing you because you are not from this state. You're trying to be legal here, and you utilize the service, and they trying to get over on you.
I said, listen, I don't know much about buying homes and stuff because I'm not the one that just wants to really be a homeowner like that. So I was like, but what I do know is that I thought purchasing a home was supposed to get you a cheaper mortgage than what you would be paying for rent.
Yeah, and so that's what she did. She and her husband, she kept listening to me, but you know how I'm listening, but I'm not listening. And then she said, okay, Miss Deborah, and I stopped talking. And then a week or two later, something be on her mind, we'll talk again. And she went and looked at another home. I said, a lot of people don't want to rent to y'all, but it's all right. But it's a lot that do want to rent to y'all. I said, you ain't experiencing nothing that Black Americans haven't experienced. Everybody wants to act like the experience of being American here is different from each other, and it really isn't. I said, now they built you up to make you think it was better than me, told you what my people was this. I said, but the reality, you know it ain't true. Right. So now you go search for yourself and find your knowledge. So then they found them a house in Olive Branch. Was it Olive Branch? I think it was Olive Branch. No, Bahia. A 4-bedroom, 3 baths, 3 full baths, 4-bedroom, something. Anyway, it was way bigger upgrade, and they were just paying $2,500 more dollars more than they were renting, and they owning it. I said, you got to go search. You can't let people tell you stuff. And she still to this day she thanks me.
You really can.
But I said, you just keep moving forward. I said, don't let people put that in your head.
Right.
And I said, your husband, she married an older man. You know, they do that for security. And she married an older man. I said, but y'all got babies. I said, now, if I were you, I'll go get his mama out of that nursing home. The sister was in Florida. she signed her mother over into a nursing home and give them the money and everything, and she never came. But with Nexus was her, that's her mother-in-law, but she took care of her mother-in-law. She went and cleaned her and did everything for her. I said, petition the court and tell them to give you the grandmother, let you be the caregiver to the grandmother, to the mother-in-law. I said, they'll say no, they'll say no, they'll say all this, and they'll say it's a whole lot of crap. I said, just chill out. I said, as you do this, you just keep telling Jesus, thank you.
Right.
Let it go. Baby, of course, took the rights from her daughter away. The nursing home said that lady had been there one time to see that child. Her own mama. And they gave it to her brother, which is your Nexus husband. And they had that 4-bedroom home. She has her own room and everything.
Yeah.
And she's doing much better with the family.
With the family.
And she bows there in your
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this one. Sit up here. Somebody on YouTube saying you way too pretty to be sad, love. Listen, sadness ain't nobody exempt from sadness. You hear me? Nobody. I got the
But
yes, indeed. So
I don't. That's why I say all the time I don't listen to people. It ain't I'm smart, being mean. I don't have meanness in my body, but I do have realness,
right.
And I keep it real about what's real. And I just know who God is. And she was blessed to have you as a friend as well as you was blessed to have her as a friend.
Yes.
But you could not save her. You could not help her. She was only going to allow you to in as much as she did. And I'm going to tell you one reason why is because you're not of her race. Those people she had started bringing you around, they would have told her, you doing this and you doing that, and these people, they don't let you in. It's all about domination and control when it's those kind of situations. You outside, you're a different culture. You women think y'all so this, so that, and that. So you would have encouraged her. You would have gave her hope. You would have gave her strength.
Yes.
Knowing you probably would have moved in your house.
Right.
And so
listen.
They would never, ever, ever, ever allow that to happen. They wouldn't allow that to happen. Because they would have thought you was taking something away from them. And if she ever had to get her strength and found out who she was in Christ, she would have flew. And she would have been just like the birds going forward in every dream she had and never letting anybody hold her back. But they knew how to keep that chain around her neck, keep her locked in, so they locked her in. And I'm just not understanding how they allow those that investment to get into her brain. I don't know. Did she go? I don't know what kind of hospital. You got to have the right kind of doctors to advocate for you.
You do.
And then you have to be your own advocate. I just tell you.
And that's why I didn't agree. You right about that. Because from the time she told me that they misdiagnosed her. Like, how somebody misdiagnose you and tell you got cancer and you don't. And then she was still, and Miss Debbie, that ain't even it. She, the doctor that misdiagnosed her with cancer stopped answering her phone calls when she
didn't know what he was doing. And the whole thing,
it was a woman. They didn't want to take no more phone calls after they misdiagnosed her. They didn't want to deal with her no more.
Right. And the whole thing was, that's just like back home. They misdiagnosed.
They probably knew she was dying. They knew she was. They probably had already told her she was dying. She just ain't told nobody. But then
could have. And I'm telling you, because it makes no sense where you do not have any knowledge of what's going on. You know,
And then
it's
you talking
something
about
is so missing.
somebody that misdiagnosed you and said you had cancer, but they don't want to talk no more, don't want to answer the phone for you and
Yeah,
check
something else went
because
on
it was
there.
something
And I
else
wouldn't
went
be
on.
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised the boyfriend threatening people, saying something crazy,
Because
because he don't sound bad.
she kept saying, I'm trying to get in touch with the doctor that misdiagnosed me, but she won't take my calls, she won't talk to me, she won't deal with me, she just keep on saying she doesn't want to deal with my situation or something like that. And I'm like,
So
what?
I'm wondering, why did she refer her to a
Who
specialist?
is
See, that's what.
this?
But did she go to the county clinics or something? Or
We
was
got
she
she
going
got
to?
insurance. She got good insurance. We got the same insurance. She got good our insurance that we got after we meet our $3,500 deductible or whatever your deductible is for all the rest of the time for the year. It's like right now I met my $3,500 deductible. I said, and since I met my $3,500 deductible, every specialist, every doctor visit, everything I go to up until December of 2025 is free of charge for me.
Right.
And that's why I've
So
been going to the doctor getting all my tests ran because I ain't got no copays right now.
yeah, and see, the thing about it is, uh, I'm thinking what done happened to this girl. She ain't never had no guidance, and she winged it on her
She
own.
did.
She didn't ask questions. She got quiet. She
Yeah.
stayed to herself, so she didn't know,
She didn't know.
and she
And,
didn't know the
and her
benefits. She didn't
parents,
get.
what I
And
believe her parents have always been sickly as well. So she didn't really, like you said, she didn't have no guidance because her parents was always needing her for something. So she didn't even have her own parents to lean on. Like me. Like, I ain't got my own parents to lean on. I ain't got nobody to ask for nothing.
right. So the thing about that is, God, let that bird just come on home, baby. Let that soul just fly on out of here.
And that
Because
was
she had been
best.
through so much in the little short
Yeah.
time she been here. That's the beauty of it all, and the
Yeah.
blessing that he let her come on home.
Yeah, I'm glad that you can let me look at it that way because the same way that you saying to look at that is the way that I look at my son's death now. And when you lose a child, there is no way that I could ever in my life think that I would have been able to look at my son's death at 2 months and be like, it was just better off that my child wasn't here. You know, as I started growing and maturing and healing in my journey with the loss of my child, you know, and now my coworker, I can say, with knowing how she was and what she was being put through, like the pain and the agony and the sadness and pity that I felt in my heart for her hearing her situation, it's almost like it's just better off you not even be here
Mm-hmm.
with what you going through. It's just been in the shit we going through. We living in hell. It's better off for anybody that ain't make it not to be here. Cause what are we really living? You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. It's crazy, but it's life, and we ain't got no way around it. And I just know like it's because the holidays coming up. I feel bad for her. And you got to think about us like we torn because it's like you want to feel pity for her family, but we know the stories that she have told us about how her family used her. So it's like how it's mixed feelings. Like how do you have pity for a family that we know was mistreating her and using her? That thing came up. It's gonna cut off
Good thing.
that puzzle. Oh, there you go. It's saying I'm not doing the puzzle right, and
Oh, okay.
I'm putting it on there. I'm finna get off in a minute anyway. There you go. But it's just like I don't know. I
I
don't
don't know
know.
neither.
I don't know
That's
if I
why I
could
tell
pity.
every woman, every child, every girl, every boy, take care of yourself.
Thank
Like I
you.
got my little double chin going, right? That tells me I'm picking up weight. And I told my sister, I said, I'm not gonna be a fat lady. I'm not. Too goddamn short.
That's
But
like me.
short
I'm way
people
too
like
short
me,
to
when
be
you
fat.
get fat, baby, it be something.
You know I know. I'm short and fat. You know I know.
And look, I said, I remember when I did pick up weight after having my second baby. Baby, I had a big old butt and some big old thighs, and my legs hurt. I said, oh hell no, I gotta get this weight off of me. And it was so ironic and crazy because I was at my worst as in weight wise. Still a small waistline, but booty everywhere and thighs, an upside down body. My legs were hurt. And more men, young, old, crippled, blind, and crazy would be trying to talk to me.
Lord.
Like, what the hell is wrong with these men today? Don't you see how fat I am? But after I lost the weight, no. As I was going through the process of losing the weight, I realized that's what men's like, chunky women.
They do. Men love them some women.
Now, if you see somebody like I was before I had picked up the weight, you thought I was something. And I used to hear guys say that, oh, she fine, she thinks she all that. She can get in the knee, she all that kind of crazy stuff. And I never was raised like that. I never thought like that. But I did know one major thing. That fat don't work. It ain't nice.
It ain't nice. I don't like it. I don't like it. I like to eat, but I don't like the fact that come with it on me. I don't.
Yeah. So I just said, girl.
So either way, I will be attending my co-worker's funeral. I'm gonna get off here. We've been on here for an hour, and I'll be attending her funeral on Tuesday. And so I just ask that you pray for my strength and her family strength and my co-worker, all my co-workers and her manager, and we all gonna need, because this is a sad time for holidays coming up. Holiday done passed. We got Christmas coming up. Her family gonna be without her, and then she not gonna be at our potlucks at work. And then I'm having me a birthday dinner next month where I'm inviting my coworkers. A couple of my coworkers coming, and I know if she was here, she would have came. And so it's just a sad time, celebrating life of death. With death, and then celebrating life of birthdays and celebrating holidays. Like right now, it's just a whole. It seems like it's a whole ball, a cluster of everything. So we don't know. I don't know whether to be happy or sad some days. So I just let it flow how it's gonna flow. Yeah. That's all I can do. Laugh sometime, be happy sometime, and then I've been had this head cold for 2 weeks, so I'm sick. And sick, sad.
What they say about the head cold?
They gave me some antibiotics and some cough syrup, and ain't nothing helping. I probably ain't taking it enough neither, but I'm hoping that it be out of my system at least sometime mid next month for my own birthday. So yeah, my birthday next month on the 22nd, and I think I probably will, because ever since I've been taking medicine and stuff, I can notice that I'm spitting up a lot of mucus. So mucus been coming up a lot for the past few days. I can tell it's coming out my system, but it's so much. It just seemed like the more I spit out, the more it seemed like I'm still spitting up and, choking up. And it's still in me, especially when I cough. I can feel it and hear it bad. But if the Lord say the same, I'm hoping it's out my system before my birthday, I hope.
I hope we get out of you.
How is the kids and daughter and everybody, Cinderella and your daughter there and everybody doing?
They doing good. Cinderella came on today with me for the first time. I hadn't seen her on live because we go at different. Well, she don't go at all. She ain't been feeling good, and I've been going rambling. And I just said, let me get back to doing everything, but I'm doing it earlier, so I just do it like that and work it out. Okay. But everybody's doing good now. Most of everybody that I used to be with on live, it was so stressful for them to the point where they just now have all stopped going live all the time and doing all the stuff that they was doing. And they now finding ground with what they want to do.
Right.
I listen to people. I learn a lot. And balance is the thing that they didn't have. And I'm trying to make sure I stay in balance. I don't give a damn what goes on this app. I got to have family time, my time, and balance.
Yes, absolutely.
But look, I do, a lot of them start doing their shoppers now. And they are started doing that, and they are started, they still come live here and there. And I kept telling them about my shopper. I know where you can look at my stuff and see what they tell me on my phone. Is it? I want to do my shopper. I want to make me some money, but I'm doing the thing to go viral too. I'm just putting my hand on a lot of little pots.
I don't know what, and I don't even know much about what be going on TikTok, so I don't even know what shopper is.
That's when you be over there selling your stuff.
Oh, TikTok shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. To be a TikTok shop affiliate.
Yeah. Okay. Now I don't have enough people to be in it, but they had sent me a thing saying that I could do it. And then they were saying, buy this, and then once you sell stuff, we'll pay you.
Okay.
And so I said, okay, I could do that.
Thank you, cousin. I appreciate that.
And so other people were saying,
thank you for the heart me.
They started selling by just having stuff in their house, but make sure it was the same stuff that they had on TikTok shop.
Yes. I
told them I ain't got nothing in my house that's on there. Yeah, that's what Spin up told me. But see, most of them was into the, what is it called? Proteins and all that stuff like that.
Yes.
So I said, she said, well, I tell you what. I told Cher, I said, well, I think I might buy me some stuff off the shop and then sell it.
Yeah, they everything on TikTok shop you can buy. And then add it to your, add it to your you add it to your TikTok shop showcase, and and that's how you'll make your commission.
And I thought I'd do that and still do my little trendy stuff and do my live.
I'm still medicating, girl. It don't seem like it's getting better, but I'm trying to keep the faith. I already had knew once I got sick. When I get sick, it takes me a month plus to heal, and that's been for some years now. So I'm pretty sure since I'm getting older, it ain't gonna get no shorter time. So it takes me a long time to recover from these sinus infections and colds and stuff. So I've been so miserable. I ain't been on social media. When I tell you I take my medicine, I lay down. I did cook a meal for Thanksgiving. I haven't posted that video yet. I'm gonna post it tonight. But I did get up and cook me and my daughter some food, and I filmed it. And I'm gonna post it, but I couldn't go live. I wanted to go live to do it. I ain't had the energy. I wanted to go out and give away plates to the homeless, like I do every year. I didn't have the energy. I couldn't do
3
nothing.
jobs won't give you the energy to do nothing.
I couldn't do. On top of I'm working through the holiday too.
Yeah.
I done had to work for finance for one of my jobs. I'm working through the holiday and I'm sick and I had to cook the food. So I ain't pick up my phone and get on now social media this week at all. I did get some content and I made some videos that I need to edit and I'm slowly now trying to push them out. But I wasn't trying to do nothing on no social media. I have been feeling horrible and looking. This the first day that I actually feel like somebody, like look like somebody, because I
I
have
got so
literally.
too because you look so pretty. I said, Deborah, when are you gonna ever put some mascara on? I
Being in
did
the
put some
weather
gloss
is
on
not
with that
helping.
girl.
Yes, and I'm out here right now. Got my daughter and her friends at the skating ring. That's why I'm sitting up the street from them at the skating ring because I had to get her dressed, do her makeup, and get her situated where she could do her last little fiasco for Scorpio season. Because I told her, baby, this after this skating ring today, and you got your little raw wave corset and things on, this is it. Because Scorpio season is over. And
Yes,
we're hyping, we're getting on into Capricorn season, okay? Because today is the last day for her. We're going into Capricorn. I need to be able to prepare for my Capricorn season.
That's sweet. That's sweet.
So this is it. Hello, Lamb. I don't even know how to say it. I ain't even gonna mess it up. Whoever that is on YouTube. I'm on TikTok Live and YouTube Live.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I need to try to do that. How'd you do your TikTok, YouTube?
I've been had this YouTube account for a while, and you just it's the same thing as TikTok. Post
Do you
videos,
get
go
paid
live.
for it?
Sorry,
You got so much cold.
I
in
got a
you.
lot of cold. Yes, once you reach the same thing as TikTok. Once you reach a certain threshold, then you can monetize on YouTube.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
I probably do YouTube before I do Facebook. Because for some reason, I don't connect.
Miss
with
Debbie,
it.
you can connect on. Listen, do not under. Now, I'm not making a lot of money off of Facebook because I don't get the views and engagement that most people get. That's real creators on Facebook. But don't you underestimate Facebook, because Facebook, them people that is really getting engagement over there, Facebook is making money. Facebook pays.
Okay, let me know when you're ready.
Facebook pays. Don't underestimate Facebook. If you got a Facebook account, all you got to do is post all your videos that you make, some of your live highlights on Facebook, because you can get paid from your own personal Facebook page. It don't have to be no business page. So Facebook do pay, but it's people making real money over there on Facebook. So, all right, Miss Debbie, I'm gonna get on off of here and go pick up these kids
Okay.
and get home and take me some medicine and snatch this wig and lashes off.
I hear you.
Yes. And I'll try to hop on your live whenever I can, and thank you for hopping on mine. I really appreciate it.
You more than welcome. Just let me know anytime.
Okay. Well, you guys have a great evening.
Okay, you too.
And enjoy your Sunday tomorrow. I might try
And
to
I'll
go.
be praying for you and your friend and
Thank
your
you.
coworkers now, baby.
Okay.
That's a lot.
Okay, Miss Debbie. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
All right.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, yeah. Talk to your mother.
Man, I'm supposed to have went in. I'm gonna go in here and pee. And then these kids talking about they ready. I'm finna go use this folks restroom and run over to Five Below, because I supposed to have been in Five Below looking for me a phone case and screen protector for my new phone, because I gifted myself a Apple Watch, a new iPhone Pro Max, right here. I got my iPhone Pro Max 17 and an Apple Watch on a deal today. This is my first birthday gift, first two birthday gifts to myself, turning 40 December 22nd. And I'm gonna give myself some more gifts. But I'm gonna go start going live a little bit more often now that my birthday is approaching in December. And I'm gonna start gifting myself. I got like 3 birthday dinners on schedule for December. So it's about to be a lot going on for my 40th birthday in December. So y'all stay tuned for that. But I got to get well. Cause I'm not trying to be all congested and sounding like this all with this mucus in me for my birthday. So I'm finna go try to get my coworker funeral service over this week, so then I can finish working on my healing and then get ready for my 40th birthday. 40 is an extremely huge milestone to make it to. We made it through COVID. We made it through a whole bunch of things, and I'm making it to 40. And a lot of people didn't make a birthday for 2025. Let's just say that. And I have lost one of my coworker friends that's not going to see her birthday next year. So, y'all take care of yourself. Stress is a silent killer until it's not. And I'm going to be a huge, huge, huge advocate of that from now on. Stress is a silent killer until it's not. Go to the doctor. Get your physical, get all your tests ran, get all your blood work done, check your hormones, check your brain health, check everything every single year. And do not let these kids, relationships, family, people, stress, work, all of the things. It ain't worth it. The stress that anything can cause you is not worth your life. Until the next video, guys, let those lights shine bright, because we all are jewels in God's eyesight. Oh, and I'm working on my snack of toothness coming up in my 40s. I'm getting all this hair filled in and whitened and tightened. Okay, so stay tuned for my snack of toothness journey, because I had to get this pulled. I had to get all these pulled to get my teeth corrected. So I'm gonna take y'all on my dental journey too. Okay, bye.